Oh, the Lakers back in the winning column, baby. They are back in the winning column after defeating the Golden State Warriors 119 to 103. They got the Phoenix Suns tonight. The Lakers are seeking that opportunity to clinch that fourth seed so they can get home court advantage, most likely against the Houston Rockets. And got some positivity going around for DeAndre Ayton. And then we saw Anthony Davis go on Draymond Green. We talked about it a little bit this week on Lakers Talk Daily, but there's some more stuff that I definitely want to elaborate on as far as Anthony Davis' comments on this current Lakers team. And Draymond Green, what the hell was he doing when Anthony Davis was speaking on the Washington Wizards roster? We got some good stuff today. It's a beautiful Friday. I hope you guys are doing really, really well. But before we get into this, you guys already know. Pechanga Resort Casino, and you can play a perfect combination, not Pechanga Resort Casino, the official Native American resort and casino of the Los Angeles Lakers. Skip the traffic. Head on over to Pechanga Resort Casino just off the I-15 in Temecula. Visit pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for reservations and for more information. Just real quick, before we talk a little bit about the game and talk about how the Lakers play, there's some funny things that we must discuss. First of all, one of them being, I don't know who the hell was on that Golden State rosters on the floor last night. I don't know who the hell was on the floor last night for the Golden State Warriors. Besides the starting five, I knew about Draymond Green, of course, knew about Anthony Melton, knew about Brandon Pajemski, and then I knew about Pat Spencer. Your boy did not know who the hell Nate Williams was. But I hope I'm not butchering his name. Malave Leones? No idea who that guy was. I had no idea who Charles Bassey was. I knew he had I think he played for the Dallas Mavericks. I could be wrong, but I had no idea who Charles Bassey was. And then, of course, you go down the list. Knew about Seth Curry. I knew about Gary Payton II. And then LJ Carr, I'm familiar with him only because he played for the University of Houston. And you already know your boy. I'm a big Houston. I like the University of Houston. I'm a big Kelvin Sampson guy. So I knew a little about LJ Carr. But in regards to the other people on that Golden State Warriors roster, who was on the floor, I had no idea. And that goes to show me it's kind of like a little flashback Friday, because I just go back and we always look at the old Lakers teams, right? And look at who was on those Lakers rosters. And we're looking at this starting lineup. I mean, Jordan Clarkson, Wayne Ellington, Duke guy Ryan Kelly, Tarek Black, and then Robert Sacre. This was a starting lineup at one point for the Lakers when they literally were out there just trying to figure out how can they move on from that season and look ahead to get back into the winning ways of the Lakers franchise. And you look at this, and you look at this Lakers roster, and you guys might laugh. But it's very, very funny, and it's very memorable because we always bring up random pulls. I'm sure you guys are going there for random pulls in the YouTube chat. You're going to bring up Andrew Gowlock. You're going to bring up Xavier Henry. You're going to bring up Marcelo Huertas. You're going to bring up all these different types of names. But that just goes to show you that there was a point in time where how the Warriors situation is going with injuries and all that stuff. Let's not forget the Lakers were in that boat just like this. Hell, there's probably people that watched that Lakers game on TV when they played their G League guys, and they were out there saying, who the hell is Kobe Bufkin? Who the hell is Nick Smith Jr.? Who the hell is this guy? That's pretty much where we're at. And it's really, really funny. And honestly, only true Laker fans know about this experience, and they know how it was seeing this lineup on the basketball court. So I just thought that was pretty funny. Just kind of throw that out there. And if you guys want to, in the YouTube chat, you want to throw out random pools, you want to throw out random Lakers, go right ahead. You already know your boy is all for it. Go ahead and list them. But speaking of not knowing who the hell is on the Lakers team and not knowing like who the hell Kobe Bufkin is, that's no disrespect to Kobe Bufkin. We have some news in regards to Kobe Bufkin. He was waived today by the Los Angeles Lakers per Shams Charania, and just looking at that and seeing, okay, why waive Kobe Bufkin at this point in the season, especially when the Lakers gave him a standard NBA contract? Well, just kind of give you guys a little bit of insight on that. So, Drew Timme, he's a two-way player, all right? Nick Smith Jr., he is also a two-way player. So, in order for them to be playoff eligible, they would have to be converted to that standard NBA contract. They will have to be converted. Let me say that one more time. In order for them to be able to be playoff eligible, one of those two needs to be converted to a standard NBA contract in order to play in the playoffs. And why is that? Why waive Kobe Bufkin? Well, first and foremost, Drew Timme hasn't given a lot more minutes than Kobe Bufkin. We have been seeing a lot of Drew Timme. And where the Lakers are at, and as far as their size, and as far as what they could utilize and what they need, knowing that Luka Doncic and knowing that Austin Reeves is out, hell, can we even be honest? Jackson Hayes has been out of the lineup. And hopefully, JJ Redick said post-game that they're hopeful that Marcus Smart and Jackson Hayes both played tonight against the Phoenix Suns. But Drew Timme, he last started for the Lakers. All right. You see what he's able to do. Hell, we even see JJ Redick. Let Drew Timme bring the ball up just to kind of, once again, let LeBron James play off ball. Let Luke Kennard play off ball a little bit. And we're going to have some funny things on Luke Kennard, by the way. And I'm going to make you guys laugh about Luke Kennard. And this is what JJ Redick had to say. We'll get into that in a little bit. But Nick Smith Jr., I understand he played, 10, 11 minutes, but he scored 12 points in that little spurt, and he came on as a heater. We all remember that iconic, for Nick Smith Jr., the iconic Nick Smith Jr. game when he played against the Portland Trailblazers, and he was unconscious. He was knocking down threes. He was getting off one-dribble pull-ups. Every single thing looked really, really good. So, by them waiving Kobe Bufkin, this is just them saying they got one more roster spot. So, it's either we're going to go with size, we're going to go with a guy like Drew Timme, who can offer size and can offer a little bit of interior offense as far as decision-making, or we can go with a guy like Nick Smith Jr., who, if we need some moments where some spark, some scoring, which he can do it, then we should go with that option. But just to kind of go quickly on that is the reasons into why, Kobe Bufkin got waived. And there's no discredit or no disrespect to Kobe Bufkin, but what the Lakers need, they need somebody out there. This is what JJ Redick is always going back to. We need to find 9 guys that we can trust heading into the playoffs. And we got to give credit to JJ Redick because he is still coaching his ass off for this Lakers team, and he's not going to roll over. It could have been easy to wave the white flag, knowing that you're not going to have Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves for the first round of the NBA playoffs. Could have been easy. Okay, you know what? Let's just go out there. Let's just have fun. Let's just go out. As Russell Westbrook liked to say, when it was Darvin Ham, you remember that iconic LeBron moment when he looked over, and we'll just go out there and have fun. They could have that. They can have that personality, but no, this Lakers team is going to try to compete. They're really trying to look forward to they're looking ahead for the postseason. They're trying to extend their series so they can hopefully get Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves back. JJ Redick also said that Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves are both in good spirits. So some positivity that we are hearing with the Lakers. Now, to kind of have something funny to throw out here with you guys. And we're seeing Luke Kennard. And specifically in that Dallas Mavericks game, we're seeing Luke Kennard get 16 rebounds, right? Get the triple-double. But he shot 5 of 17 shooting. But that was due to what? Him having to have the ball in his hands and him having to initiate the offense, correct? And it was the same thing. You go forward. We see it with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Ball in his hands. One-dribble pull-up. Getting guys open. Setting guys up in that context for offensively. And then Golden State Warriors, same thing. Luke Kennard without Marcus Smart. Another guy to kind of initiate the offense. Get things going. Has the ball in his hands. We see his assist numbers go up a little bit. He's even getting a rebound. Luke Kennard's role expanded. Just like Rui Hachimura, just like DeAndre Ayton. When Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, Jackson Hayes, Marcus Smart are out of the lineup, guess what? Your role is going to expand immediately. And JJ Redick has some funny comments. Because And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. When your boy hoops, and I see, and this is no racism, this is no anything like that. But when you see it, I see a white guy on the basketball court, especially when you're a lefty like Luke Kennard. My automatic assumption is, all right, he can shoot. He can shoot. That is my automatic assumption as soon as I see that. And Deondre saying that he's just more than a shooter, and it's easy because he's a white guy that shoots threes. That's the life we have, and that's the life we chose. And it's very, very funny because it's true. That is the automatic assumption when you see a guy like Luke Kennard out there on the basketball court. What does he like to do? The first thing he's looking to do is shoot. The first thing he's looking to do is score. That is the automatic assumption for Luke Kennard. And I had the luxury to be able to play college basketball. I played all throughout my life. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's very, very true. When you see a white guy on the basketball court, what is the first thing that they can do? They can knock down that shot. So I just thought that was really, really funny. But as far as this Lakers team, as far as the way they played against the Golden State Warriors, as far as how they look, as far as how they're trying to expand this season, and as far as them trying to figure out what can they do looking forward for the foreseeable future with this Lakers postseason. Seeing what they were doing against the Golden State Warriors, and I'm like, okay, is that really enough? Is that enough for them to really beat a team like the Houston Rockets? Is that enough for them to actually compete with them? Possibly so. And honestly, there's some interesting comments that Deondre, that Udonis Haslam made with DeAndre Ayton. And I'm going to dive into that, and I'm going to elaborate more into that on the second half of the episode. But seeing what they're throwing out there on the basketball court, and whether you like it or not, they beat the Golden State Warriors, and you can make that case that they're the G League team out there on the basketball court. That's fine. I get it. All that matters is that the Lakers got the W. They still they were made in the 4th seed. They own that tiebreaker against the Houston Rockets. The only thing we still have to be realistic with is that actually enough to beat a Houston Rockets team who has legit won 7 straight games and have been playing better basketball. By the way, they're 8-0 since Dorian Finney-Smith has had DMPs and has not been in the rotation. So I'm going to keep on circling back. I kind of was like, damn, what the hell? Why did they let Dorian Finney-Smith walk like that? And honestly, seeing what he's doing with the Houston Rockets, and his numbers are really low, he can't stay healthy on the basketball court, it's really, really good sign that Rob Pelinka did not go ahead and give him that money and did not go ahead and give him that contract extension. But you guys in the YouTube chat, before we hit this break, what is going on with this? Let's go Calabasas Lakers. Let's go Westminster Lakers. Bridgetown Lakers. Look, man, just because Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves are not on the basketball court, why are we doing this, man? Let's have a little bit of hope. Let's remain optimistic going into the postseason because we don't know. We don't know what could happen. And I know I'm trying to believe in myself. I'm trying to spew that in my mind that could be a possibility that Lakers can at least expand the series. But, man, we shall see. But before we elaborate more onto this Lakers team, and honestly talking about Udonis Haslam and the comments he had to make about DeAndre Ayton, before we do any of that, I have to let my partners at Pachanga give you guys a quick word.
At Pachanga Resort Casino, you can rock and roll, sip and slide, twist and shout. Play your perfect combination at Pachanga Resort Casino, official Indian gaming sponsor of the Lakers.
All right. What is going on? Welcome back to Lakers Talk Daily. The Lakers beat the Golden State Warriors last night, 119-103. You want to talk about the 2 G League games? No, I'm just playing. LeBron James out there on the basketball court. LeBron James started off in that quarter right from the get-go. It was really cool to see that. But Udonis Haslem, and we're very, very familiar with Udonis Haslem, especially his career in the NBA, and how he also won an NBA championship with LeBron James. And what is one thing that we always critique for DeAndre Ayton is his ups and downs and him not being consistent on a night-to-night basis, correct? That is one thing that we always have concerns about with DeAndre Ayton. And one thing that I look back at and I had full thought process on is that whether JJ Redick handled the situation with Rui, with Vanderbilt, with Ayton the right way, him calling out DeAndre Ayton, saying that he can't catch the ball, which there's valid proof of DeAndre Ayton's inability to catch the ball in certain moments. Whether he yanked Jared Vanderbilt and real quick and the real understanding why he did that, okay. But the two have talked. JJ Redick said he didn't elaborate on what they spoke about, but they're in good spirits. Then you look at Rui Hachimura, which very, very valid reasoning into why Rui Hachimura got yanked in that first quarter against Oklahoma City Thunder, because he missed defensive assignments. He was not going into the right spots offensively. Frustration grows, especially when you're Rui Hachimura and you've been in this Lakers system for over a couple of years, especially you played for JJ Redick already, so you should know what to expect from him. I understand why JJ Redick gets frustrated, because you're DeAndre Ayton and you make those comments that you're not no Clint Capella. You're a number one overall draft pick for a reason. You are a lot better than what they're trying to make you be offensively. Okay, you want to talk about prove it, and you want to talk about a time to prove that? This is the best time for DeAndre into proving that, right? With Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, no Jackson Hayes, and they're relying on Drew Timme to be your backup big man, or Maxi Kleber to be your backup big man. If you're DeAndre Ayton and you understanding that you're going into an option year of your contract, which he's most likely going to opt in, why in the hell are you having these moments? You need to go out there and you need to show them why you feel like you are the starting center for any team in the entire NBA. You're Rui Hachimura. You're playing for a contract year. Honestly, if you're playing to try to come back in a Lakers uniform, you can't have mental errors like that, especially if you want to come back and return a Lakers uniform. You got to want to perform. Your roles have expanded. You're Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt will be here next year for the Lakers. I believe he's got one more year left on his deal. You're Jared Vanderbilt. You have DMPs, and you're trying to prove why you can be very valuable on the basketball court defensively and find a way to be out there on the basketball court with your guys. Okay, prove it. Show us why you deserve to be on the basketball court, and show us why you didn't deserve those DMPs. That, I feel like, is the biggest message, and why JJ Redick is out there coaching hard, and why JJ Redick is out there trying to get the most out of this team and get 9 guys. But the comments that Udonis Haslem made, and the comments that he's saying as far as, you got to go out there, you got to compete, you got to, just, he said, DeAndre said he's hard on himself and saying all that stuff. And Udonis has him telling him, I want you to know that you are still that guy. It's just in a different role. You think Bron changed the way he sees himself because he went to the third option? Hell no. LeBron James still feels like on any given night, he can get you 30. He can get you 35. We've seen it with the Dallas Mavericks. Even though LeBron James went into that, what we like to say, the third option, LeBron James still feels like he could be LeBron James. He feels like he could turn up on any moment. You're DeAndre Ayton, and you're telling yourself that you're that guy. You're not no Clint Capella, although he did look himself in the mirror. Let's remember that. He did look himself in the mirror. But you're telling yourself that. And honestly, this is a good thing that Udonis Haslem is giving him words of encouragement and kind of telling him, hey, look, you still need to be that guy. Even though if your role might be that Clint Capella role, you still need to be that guy, especially when guys are out of the lineup and the rotation. And honestly, knowing that Udonis Haslem play with LeBron James, could this be a thing? Because JJ Redick's trying to find 9 guys. And LeBron James understanding that he's going to have to do the most, especially at the age of 41. And knowing that he has a good relationship with Udonis Haslem. What if LeBron James can find another way around to motivate DeAndre Ayton? Actually, talk to Udonis Haslem and tell Udonis Haslem, hey, look, I'm trying to get words of encouragement to DeAndre Ayton. I know I kind of have a little bit of frustration. I kind of show that a lot on the basketball court because, I expect the most out of certain guys when they are playing alongside with me. What if LeBron James had a message to Udonis Haslam and he carried it over and Udonis Haslam gave that words of encouragement to DeAndre Ayton? And hopefully that could be a motivation factor. And hopefully that could motivate DeAndre Ayton into playing better basketball and understanding that you don't have your primary ball handler for the pick and roll game. You can still rebound. You can still be in the right spots rolling hard to the basket. You can still get second chance opportunities. You can still run the lanes and get easy buckets. Same thing, Rui Hachimura. Your game is now elevated. Your role is not that Rui Hachimura come out the bench and provide this many points. Now you have to be there defensively. You have to be engaged. You have to be able to provide offensively, and you also have to be in your right spots. Jared Vanderbilt, you come in, you got to create havoc on the basketball court. You got to be in the passing lanes. You got to rebound. You got to do the little things. Luke Kennard, your role is expanded as well. Do not turn the ball over. Get them in their spots. You wide open, shoot the wide open three. Simple as that. Let's see if this Lakers team can carry it over into the playoffs. We're hoping and remaining very, very optimistic. But before I get in real quick to Draymond Green's comments, you guys said this, and I was thinking about this as well. I thought about this because Chris Paul, and by the way, real quick, DeAndre did respond back to Udonis Haslam. They're saying, I truly appreciate your words of wisdom, Udonis Haslam. And we honestly need more of that stuff around the league. I'm not going here to bash guys on media and all that stuff. That's not what I do, man. I'm gonna just keep it real. We need more stuff like this around the league. We need more guys like Udonis Haslam. Hell, even Shaq and all them to give them words of wisdom and encouragement and figure out ways to get better on the basketball court. That's all I'm gonna say, just to kind of end that conversation. But I was thinking about this when the Lakers waived Kobe Bufkin. I see you guys in the YouTube chat saying that, what if the Lakers could have brought Chris Paul in? What if the Lakers could have brought Chris Paul in? Chris Paul has something to prove. He has chemistry with DeAndre Ayton. I see you guys in there. JJ, Reddit, Brian, Jay, everyone in the YouTube chat. I see you guys in there. And I thought about that. I thought about, okay, what if they bring a veteran in like Chris Paul? I don't think they're going to sign Chris Paul. Maybe they look into that. Maybe the reasoning into why they waived Kobe Bufkin and the reasoning into why they're going to evaluate this roster and knowing that they need a point guard, because Luke Kennard being a point guard is not ideally what you want. Marcus Smart being that point guard is not ideally what you want. What if Chris Paul and they signed him because he has to be signed before the end of the regular season in order to be playoff eligible? He has a relationship with LeBron James. He has a good chemistry with DeAndre Ayton. They made that finals run when Chris Paul is alongside with them. You know he's going to demand the most out of DeAndre Ayton. I understand what happened with Chris Paul and the Los Angeles Clippers. I know how that situation went down. I know that to their thoughts that he was a big distraction in the locker room. But that's just because his personality, and he demands a lot out of his teammates. Who knows? But I just thought that was really, really cool. I thought that was really, really interesting that they waived Kobe Bufkin at this time, especially Kobe Bufkin, that they gave a standard contract, and maybe they could potentially try to look into Chris Paul, knowing that he's still out there in good basketball shape, and knowing that he likes to be home, and knowing he wants to be in LA, and knowing that he could potentially be alongside LeBron James, and knowing that this Lakers team is looking for a point guard, and also knowing that this team is what? Ultimately, this Lakers team, they felt like they can try to make a run. And why not add a veteran point guard like Chris Paul? There's a little hypothetics out there. Just saying. This is basketball reasons. It all makes sense. You don't have to have Chris Paul do too much. He's going to be able to get you in your spots. He's going to be able to be that good floor general. He's a veteran guy. Hey, it's besides a guy like Drew Timme or a guy like Nick Smith Jr., you know where the hell you're going to get out of Chris Paul. Let's just keep it simple as that. Just thought that was really interesting. I'm glad you guys brought that up and brought that to my attention. But to finish off these last 5 minutes of Lakers Time Theory, we talked about Anthony Davis and his comments as far as his trade and how the trade went down. Talked about that with you guys already. And then I saw Anthony Davis talk about how he actually felt like this Lakers team with Luka and Austin Reeves, he said it himself. He felt like this team could win a championship. Anthony Davis legit said that. This is legit clips that we have seen of him saying it on Draymond Green's show, that he felt like this Lakers team can win a championship. I'm not going to believe that whatsoever. Anthony, sorry, we can be realistic here. The Lakers are not winning a championship this year. They're not winning a championship this year. But I thought that was very, very interesting that Anthony Davis saying that he believed this Lakers team could win a championship. The way this roster is constructed. Let's just keep it honest. But we understand how Anthony Davis went from the Dallas Mavericks and he now is on the Washington Wizards. And we have seen the Washington Wizards for a couple of seasons now. If I'm being honest with you, the Washington Wizards haven't been good since John Wall. Since John Wall and Bradley Beal and Marcin Gortat, they have not been good since Otto Porter Jr. They have not been good since that Wizards team. Oh, I mean, if you want to throw in the Westbrook when they made it to the play and all that stuff, you can throw in that one as well, Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. But I remember that Wizards team being really, really good when it was that John Wall Wizards team. Now, Anthony Davis saying that he believes this Wizards team is good, and he believes that this Wizards team can, if they're in the right reasonings, to compete for a championship. And he's going to talk to his front office. He's going to talk to the owner. He's going to talk to the general manager and seeing ways that they can win this year and be successful, because he's saying that he ultimately wants to compete for an NBA championship. Anthony Davis, being at the age of 33, 34, wanting to compete for a championship still, totally understand that. But there is a moment where he was talking about the Wizards, and he was talking about the roster, and he was talking about how good he feels like they were. And he named one guy out of that whole Wizards team, by the way, in that clip. He said Bub Carrington. And don't get me wrong, he elaborated more into that. But look at Draymond Green's reaction when Anthony Davis was elaborating on this Wizards roster. This man was falling asleep, man. Like, can we be honest here? Draymond Green's eyes, he was doing a Johnny Eye. How we see John Ireland on road trips, and he's literally, we say, when you guys in the YouTube chat like to call him John Ireland, no disrespect, I love John Ireland, but you guys like to say that. Draymond Green legit got bored with that Wizards talk. We're being real honest here. The man was legit dozing off when Anthony Davis was talking about Bub Carrington, Keyshawn George, Alex Sarr. Let's be honest here. There's no way in hell Anthony Davis believes that this Washington Wizards team can compete for a championship. Anthony Davis, if you're going to stick with the Washington Wizards, I'm sorry, brother. You're going to be in that. Okay, like, they're really young. I think the oldest, I mean, now the oldest on that team is Anthony Davis for sure. But besides that, come on, man. The Washington Wizards haven't competed for anything for years. And whether they get all these young guys, it's going to take time. That's all I'm trying to get at with Anthony Davis. So I'm just looking right now. I'm pretty sure they're going to have conversations, if that's what he's saying, and saying that they're going to be really looking into what the way his roster is and if they're ready to compete for a championship. I'm letting you guys know right now. This might be funny. This is my own personal thoughts. Once again, we might see Anthony Davis on the move, because if you want to compete for a championship team, I'm sorry, you're not going to get it with the Washington Wizards anytime soon, man. Especially next year. You think by you or Trae Young are going to immediately turn the thing around real quick? I'm sorry, dog. There's just no way the Washington Wizards are going to be even in championship contention. I can go look at the Vegas odds for next year. I guarantee the Washington Wizards are going to be in those plus ridiculous amount odds. And they're going to be right there along with the Brooklyn Nets as far as the craziest odds to win a championship. That is, come on, man. That's just blowing smoke on that, man. I get it. You have to be positive, especially when you come into a new team. I get all that. But the fact that we have Draymond Green, and every time I look at it, I just laugh because this man was legit falling asleep on his own show. But I just thought I had to throw that out there with you guys as well. But, man, it's been a good one. It's been a good one. Ready for this weekend. Hopefully the Lakers can go out there and beat the Phoenix Suns tonight. The Phoenix Suns will be without Devin Booker. But you guys already know who's going to be on that Phoenix Suns team. And I hope he doesn't go out there and act a fool. And that's Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks is back. The Phoenix Suns were also without Jalen Green. I know he went out the other night. But this is an opportunity for the Lakers, and hopefully they can try to secure that fourth seed and try to get that home court advantage. But it's been a good one. For myself and you guys back there in the YouTube chat, my guy Carlo running this operation, I will be talking to you guys next week, and we'll recap the end of the regular season and look forward and look ahead for Lakers playoffs and see if they can actually extend this series or win a first-round series. And hopefully Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, the rehab goes really well. And let's see what they can do. Let's see what they can do. JJ has got to find 9 guys before the end of the regular season. And hopefully he makes the right decisions. But as always, have a good rest of your day and have a good weekend. I'll talk to you guys next week. We out.